Hi friends, welcome to Cloud Shiksha 365. So many of my students have asked about cloud or cloud computing. So this tutorial and a series that now I'm going to create here, this is the part 1 and we will discuss about what the cloud is, the cloud computing and bit more examples with one of the cloud service provider, that is Amazon Web Services. So let's get started. So what is cloud computing? So when we talk about cloud, we are not really talking about the clouds in the sky. No, not at all. What we are talking about here is we are talking about the cloud computing. So what this cloud computing is? So that means computer on the cloud, or what exactly it is? So let's get little bit more details about the cloud computing. So when we talk about cloud computing, in a very simple way, I can say that it is referred to as availability of compute resources. So compute resources here is like what computer sources are, like let's say your computer where you can let's say run commands, you can play music, you can run applications. So those compute resources, and resources here are like your CPU, your RAM, your disk, your storage, all those are the resources. So availability of those compute resources over the internet. In real, these resources are available in data center. So having those resources available to you remotely is referred to as cloud computing. So like that's why we say that computer over the cloud. So remotely you are able to access those resources. But in general, in real, those resources are residing or sitting in some data center. So now I used here a word data center, and let's discuss a little bit what data center is. So data center is referred to a physical location where all compute resources like servers, network, cables, switches, router, disk, storage, power, etc. everything is present in one physical location. It can be a small room or it can be a big building where all these servers are sitting. We call that in computing language data center, where all your assets are sitting. And how this data center looks like is, it looks like this. So like this is a very big hall having lot of servers. You see here around 400 500 servers in different racks, and they are along with various cables. Of course cables are on the back end side, so just a back end I'm showing here, and then storage, power, everything is there. When these resources, these physical resources are available to us remotely via internet, then we call that cloud computing. So this is just a brief explanation about data center. Before we discuss cloud computing a bit more broader in next slide, I just wanted to show that this is the data center and these resources are available on the internet to us to use. Like if I need one let's say Linux server, I can quickly create one Linux servers using cloud computing and use that for running some Python scripts or some application. So this is what is cloud computing. Now let's go to next slide to define cloud computing. And cloud computing is a model for enabling ubiquitous means like which is available everywhere. So in like definition by institutions, if we say, then I can say that cloud computing is a model of enabling ubiquitous, which is available everywhere, convenient, easily on demand network access to a shared pool of configurable computing resources. So you must notice here shared pool. So these resources are shared. And what are those resources are? As we discussed in the previous slide, network, server, storage, application services that can be rapidly provisioned. So rapidly provisioned means when we need, we can create. So just on one click we can create, and released with minimal management effort or service provider interactions. And this definition basically is given by NIST, which is referred to as National Institute of Standards and Technology. So when you get chance, you should read the articles from NIST, but this definition is coming from NIST, and I just rephrased it here. Now cloud by diagram. So now I will just elaborate a little bit more about the cloud. So in previous slide, when we were defining this definition of cloud, we noticed that configurable computing resources. So what are those configurable computing resources? Network, server, storage, application, and services over the cloud. So that means, what are those resources here? Let's say we want to create one Windows operating system on one VM. So that VM can be created within this cloud computing. Or maybe I need a Linux machine, Linux operating system. Then I can create that over the cloud. Or maybe I have requirement of any other operating system. I can create that within the cloud, within that cloud service provider. Same way, we want to create some firewall rules to secure our network, or maybe we want to create new routes, or we want to create new security policies. Then these components are configurable. We can create these resources over the cloud. Or just one step ahead, we need more storage and disk space for our requirement for our application. Then all these components can be created, and all these are connected together within the network, within the segment that we create over the cloud computing. So this is what is meant here by configurable computing resources. So we can configure all these computing resources over the cloud, and these are available to end user. So end user, who's end user is here? Like I am the end user who's using this, or maybe you are the end user who are using these resources in one way or another. Now example is, let's say you are accessing everyday google.com. So that is coming from some sort of cloud resource where it is used, where it is saved. Same way, Netflix is the best example. You are playing Netflix on your mobile, on your laptops, or on your television screens. But from where that Netflix is being broadcasted? That is coming from Amazon Cloud. It's hosted on Amazon Cloud. So that is again all the resources, computing resources being utilized are on AWS. So this is how it is used, and how end user is using all these resources via internet. Using this internet access, we are using all these cloud computing resources. So this is a brief overview about the cloud. So I will say it cloud in a nutshell. And in the coming chapters, now we will take one more step, and then I will explain bit more further about various cloud service providers, and then we will start talking about various components. If you have any questions, or maybe you are not clear on any of the previous slide, don't hesitate to write your comment in my channel here, or you can also write me at study@cloud365.com, and I will be more than happy to respond to your questions. And also do not hesitate to join my WhatsApp group, details given below in the description, and we have a weekend connects also. Thank you very much for watching this video, and stay connected in my next video, and do like and share my YouTube videos. Thank you very much.